We're live.
We are
Tremendous
live.
improvement as far as CSK are concerned.
Yes.
They didn't have an ideal start to the tournament, but now look where they are. And
Number
they're gunning for the top 3 positions. That's what we were talking about, Shane. Not something else.
I know. We were not talking about some loud fashion sense, if we may say, isn't it? Loud fashion sense of some people that we are talking about. Nah,
No, we were talking
You
about
can take your name.
CSK.
You can take your name.
I got loud fashion sense. Oh man, that is kind of a compliment. I take that. So yes, as you can see, I'm wearing the yellow.
You can have an alternate career in influencing and all also, you know.
Styling.
Yeah.
I
Why
do.
not?
I do get vindicted nowadays.
See?
I do. After yesterday, I had backed KKR to win, but even when they lost, I was still happy because one of my players who had backed,
We're still at that.
who I had backed, did very well.
Vijay Shankar.
I mean, imagine Kolkata, only they can do it.
No. I mean, yesterday you were already 20 run short.
Yeah.
So you needed a superhuman show from the bowlers. Superhuman.
They were there until the 15th over.
That
when
one drop.
By the way, Shane, before we build up to today's game, since we missed you here yesterday, your thoughts on Gurbazi Gari?
Yeah, I'm glad you finally vindicated me. Very, very glad. But what is it now? KKR have had 2 matches, by the way. It's a theme where you'll have one good individual performance, you end up losing. Venkatesh Iyer 100 versus MI.
Yeah.
Gurbaz yesterday. It's almost as if you don't want those big individual performances.
Yeah.
And why are you experimenting still? Shardul Thakur at 3.
Two Lord.
I think the reason they did that was because he's probably not bowling fit. So let's just send him up to bat. Who knows? They seem to have this tendency of using floaters, which I don't like. You'll do it with Narayan. You're doing it with Shardul. Now let them bat in their normal positions, please. You're talking about that experimentation. Vaibhav comes in for one game and then Harshit Rana comes in for the next. Now you're in a case where you're having 2 Ranas also, by the way.
Yes. Harshit Rana, Nitesh Rana. You're all wondering whether they're related, but they're not
They're
related.
not.
They're not related. And then Saransh had this joke that maybe he's related to Harshit.
But the first
Yeah, exactly.
But the
that
first
was the
names have
joke.
nothing to do with any blood
By
relation.
that logic, I'm related to Shane Warne.
Yeah.
What nonsense is this?
That's the joke Saransh made.
I'll have to speak to him on his sense of humor.
And we need to speak to you as well for reiterating the joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I needed to highlight it.
We need to talk.
Anyhow, building
Yes.
up to the game at hand.
The first day game at Chepauk, and pity the poor souls who are going to play because it is extremely hot
Dry.
and humid in Chennai at this point in time. But he looks as cool as a cucumber, MS Dhoni. And when you look at it, I like the introduction that Danny Morrison gives him sometimes.
Cucumbers are nice in the heat anyway.
He does look cool. I mean, he's unflustered by it because CSK and Punjab both are coming off big losses. I mean, Punjab lost by 56 runs despite making 201. That was because Lucknow Super Giants made 257. The second,
An event so rare that Gautam Gambhir was caught on camera smiling.
Yeah.
yes, but it was later. It later emerged that he and KL Rahul. There was one image where they are both.
Yeah. I've seen that
He was
image.
explaining something. I don't know.
Like they were getting 200 odd, they were at 230 something. Both of them.
Yes.
भाई अब तो खुश हो जाओ.
So that was Punjab's loss at Mohali that happened, and Chennai are coming off a 32-run loss to Rajasthan Royals at the Savai Mansingh Stadium. So both teams head into this match low on confidence, but Chennai, they have got their fortress, the last remaining fortresses that you may say in the IPL, because although they have lost one game
To Rajasthan.
they still have a very, very good record at that.
Absolutely, a proud record there at the Chepauk. Just about 70% as far as their win percentage
Yes.
at the Chepauk is concerned. And looking at today's opposition, Chennai would think that this is a very good opportunity for them to get those 2 points and consolidate their position at the top.
Because it is very important that no team at the top now, because Gujarat have a 2-point lead, Chennai can very well join them.
Yes.
But if they slip up, then the likes of Rajasthan, Lucknow Super Giants and RCB. And if Punjab win this,
Even Punjab Kings because
Yes.
they'll be on 10.
yes,
Because Punjab are just below RCB right now, so for they've got incentive as well, to go
Yes.
for this win. And just let's say if you had to put aside all the predictions that we had made and whatever allegiances we may have for this match or picks for this match, I think for the IPL and for this edition, it'll be good if Punjab go ahead and win this one. It just mixes things up very well and makes the table far more interesting.
I mean, if you look at it, supposing Punjab win today and Rajasthan also lose, supposing to Mumbai Indians, and if Bangalore beat LSG on Monday, you've got the gap from number 1 to number 8 potentially is just 4 points.
And by the way, depending on what the net run rate really turns out to be, if let's say it's a big win for Punjab today, and let's say RCB also get their win in their next match, then Chennai in a couple of days time could be down to number 6.
Yes.
That's how quick the tables are turning. 23rd of April they were top of the table, and let's say just in a week's time, rather 8 days time, they could be out of the...
And I'm telling you, CSK are expected to have a mid-season slump. It's always happened for them. Even peak CSK used to have a mid-season slump.
Is the slump coming today?
It started with the Rajasthan Royals loss, but since they're playing at home, and they are, I think, playing a majority of the games now at home, I think they can avoid that.
See, also you have to remember that I think in recent seasons RR have kind of had the vote over CSK. So I won't read too much into that, because otherwise CSK one way or the other are getting the job done. Mind you, they still don't look convincing because the likes of say Tushar Deshpande, I think by the way they found their next Shardul. He plays the exact same role. He'll get hit for runs and then somehow get 2 wickets. So he does that. But again, I think it's still not as solid as what I remember seeing, prime CSKs. But they're getting the job done. That's the key. I expect them to be in contention for the playoffs. With Punjab, there are more question marks because again, that top order just isn't inspiring any confidence in me. Just doesn't. And even with Dhawan returning, last game he looked off color. And obviously, I think with that injury setback came at the worst time because he started the IPL great guns. Unfortunately, I think they need him to fire big time if they are to have any chance really of getting a victory in this particular match.
They need to. And before I get into the toss, this breaking news which just came up that Mumbai Indians have signed Chris Jordan. He is in the side now, and
as a replacement for who?
Exactly. We don't know. He's just been signed up as one of the players, and Chennai have won the toss, and hopefully they'll want to bat because it's a day
game. You would want to bat first.
Yes, but with Dhoni, you don't know. Maybe he prefers chasing. Maybe he prefers chasing, but now the trend is teams that are batting first are winning, except for Gujarat Titans. Tala chooses to bat. That's the way it is. And whether there'll be any changes since it's a day game, are we going to see more spinners? Because
who would they bring in? Someone like a Solanki? Would that be the person they want to bring
Solanki. Maybe one of the foreigners, maybe Santner comes in. Because then maybe either of Moeen sits out, but you'll compromise on the batting.
Truth be told, you have 3 spinners already. I think it's just about using them because you have a Tikshana anyway.
You have a Jadeja.
Yeah, you have Jadeja and Moeen in the 11. I think you could potentially just make them all bowl their quota.
Yeah, maybe that is the case. There's a breeze blowing across the Chepauk from the Marina Beach that's there, so that will be a welcome respite to the players. Because if it doesn't have a breeze, Chennai can be a killer city if you are there. So yes, that is the best way that you can look at it. Punjab, just 2 days ago, the match happened and they have to play in Chepauk.
Yeah, but that's been the template, I think, for a good 2 weeks now. Teams are traveling, they're playing the second game within 48 hours. I remember when we went to Mohali, we saw Punjab play there. By the time we were here, we were already talking about their next match, which had to happen the following day.
And which is happening away from home.
Which is happening away from home. Even though I think only from, I think that they were still in the northern belt only. They didn't have to travel all the way to the east or down south. But even then, travel in India isn't easy, we know that. And these teams... they're all professionals, yes, all said and done, but that does take away, the practice and the
recovery time.
And the recovery time. So there isn't any recovery time, the players would say right now.
You really have to think about, if all of this traveling and, it's so busy, it's so hectic, does it have an effect on the player's performance?
It does.
Sure.
It does. Because see, you are going to have, say, March 31 to May 28. How many days does that make out to be? Close to 59 days. 59 days, out of which 50 of it you will be traveling or living out of a suitcase. And it's not as if Chennai to Kolkata or maybe Chennai to Delhi is just about an hour. It takes 2 hours, 2.5 hours by flight. Flight travel, the logistics, moving to a hotel, then settling in and then going to the practice, and it becomes a mundane routine as such. And all the players pointed it out that it's travel that kills you. Because you're fatigued before you even come to the field.
And the main reason is because there's such a short turnaround time.
Yes.
One of the most important things when it comes to recovery, and this will sound shocking, sleep.
Sleep, yes.
But if you're traveling that frequently, you're having disturbed sleep for sure. So you're not getting that proper rest time to give your body that recovery time which is needed, and it's going to compromise.
Why do you think most of the players sleep on the flight? Because that's the only 2 hours that they can get
sleep.
It's not. Because it's just
You
not
can
proper.
never sleep.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Why do you think that in 2021 and 2020 players were to play in a specific bio bubble? And that's why travel wasn't that great, and that's why you saw that many players didn't mind being traveling that much, because Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, hardly a distance.
Also, that's why you saw the intensity levels never really drop through the tournament.
Yes.
If you think about, say, 2020 in particular, because 21 you can still say, yeah, there was a long gap.
Yeah.
But 20, if you remember, the intensity was throughout.
Throughout.
Why was it that consistent? Because they didn't really have any places to travel.
And 3 venues only.
3 venues only, you were constantly going to and fro, so it was just bus travel back to that same hotel.
Yeah.
It's actually very convenient.
And also 2022 and 2021. Not much of travel. Yes, 2021 they tried multiple bio bubbles, but that didn't work. So
That worked about as well as you would have expected it to work.
yeah, I mean, because because it was compromised because of the fact that you didn't have the right gadgets, and you also chose to practice at other venues which are not part of the bio bubble, especially in Delhi. And if you look at it in Ahmedabad, how did the Ahmedabad bio bubble get compromised? Because one of the players who had a shoulder problem, he went to the hospital, but that hospital was not part of the bio bubble protocol. But he came back from the hospital, he unfortunately had COVID, he spread it into the bubble.
It was Varun, I remember.
And I think one more, Sandeep Warrior. I
Yeah, it
guess.
was Varun got it. Sandeep got it from Varun.
Yeah.
And
Later
then
on.
the entire thing just ended up spiraling out of control.
Yep. So
The 11s are out.
the 11s are out and no change. Yep. This is their batting 11. So it'll be Akash Singh, the
Coming in,
impact
yeah.
sub when they
Exactly.
bowl. And Raidu goes out. That is the way it is. And Punjab also made only one change. There is no Harpreet Bhatia.
But are we sure it's Harpreet Bhatia or could be
Harpreet Brar.
also?
Because there was there were 2 Brars also. Gurnur was
Gurnur
also.
also. Last time around it was Gurnur Brar who played, and we mistook him for Harpreet Brar,
Yeah.
who actually didn't take part in the game, if I'm not wrong.
I mean,
Well,
that's.
he was there in the subs, but he wasn't called in.
I mean, the case of mistaken identity, poor guy. I mean,
Harpreet Bhatia we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harmeet it was. No?
Yeah, it was Harmeet
Harmeet
who had committed
yeah.
the so-called crime, but Harpreet Bhatia was the one who
Suffered.
Yeah, because of one. And see, that's why it's so important to not make typos.
yeah, it's important to be a grammar Nazi in a lot of cases, but yeah, but in the pressure of deadline, you know, it
We've
does.
all done it.
We've all gone through that.
All done it.
Yep. So that is the thing. Shikhar Dhawan is saying we would have loved to bat first. I mean, it's a day game and a dry wicket, absolutely. If it's a dry wicket, then I think you're not going to see that high school. We're at vintage Chepauk kind of thing. Where,
Yeah, today I'm pretty sure even like 140 would be a defendable target, you know. Trust me.
yeah.
Because it's going to slow considerably in the second innings.
Yeah.
The heat is going to be bearing down the pitch,
And it's going to break down a bit.
Yep.
It's because it's dry, so again,
Yep.
could be that classic Chepauk game today.
Yep.
It's
So
the spinners who will take over.
spinners. So you want to say who's the? It's unchanged. So among all, who do you think in the Chennai Super Kings, Gargi, will have an impact today with the bat? Who do you feel?
With the bat.
Yeah, because they're batting first. So
Can I see the?
yeah. So the
Okay.
playing 11 is Rituraj Gaikwad, Devon Conway.
It's,
You need your
it's
glasses
okay.
soon.
I lost my glasses, but okay. I think Ruturaj Gaikwad.
Rituraj Gaikwad. Okay. And Ajinkya Rahane didn't do well in the previous game against Rajasthan Royals. He is also in these kind of dry conditions. Achilles heel is his
Spin.
spin. Achilles heel is his spin bowling capabilities. So can he do that? That is another thing. So Moeen Ali, I hope he bats in the right position. So does Ambati Rayudu, Shivam Dube. I think Dube will be promoted up the order. Jadeja, Dhoni, Patirana. Patirana was very unlucky in the game against Rajasthan Royals. Yorkers, the edges were going for boundaries.
But he still did very, very well.
He did. And Lasith Malinga had a smile from the opposing camp that yes, he is doing well. The master was kind of proud of the apprentice in that sense. Tikshana will have a big role to play as well. So Jadeja, Tikshana, Moeen Ali, these three guys are really going to be.
Also, see, that's why I corrected you, because it is indeed Harpreet Brar who's sitting out.
No, Brar is there.
No, Harpreet Singh Bhatia is.
No, because in the broadcast
They would have made some mistake again.
Or there's a mistake here.
One of it.
Yeah, because there they showed Brar, but here they're showing.
Yeah,
This is the problem.
I think last time also it was the problem was here.
Yes.
It does
Not in the
happen.
broadcast, because they have the whole list
So
by the
Harpreet
team.
Bhatia is the one sitting out.
Yes. And Brar is in, Harpreet Brar.
Okay.
I mean, that's why Shikhar Dhawan also throws a googly. He said Harpreet.
Now, which Harpreet? Boss, specify.
I mean, I remember 1968 Mexico Olympics. There were 4-5 Singhs in the Indian hockey team. So the commentator is Singh passes to Singh. Singh passes to Singh. Singh is in the penalty box. Which Singh? So there were 5 Singhs in the Indian hockey.
I mean, that's not too dissimilar to the Indian hockey team of now.
Yeah, but still, at least now the commentators say it's Harmanpreet.
Sarkar saying, or
No,
Jarmanpreet.
No, Mandeep, you will hear.
Mandeep. Yeah, you won't say
Smart.
Singh.
Yeah, you don't say Sing.
1968 Olympics, it did happen. At that time, it was a novelty. So, we are yet waiting whether it is Harpreet Brar or Harpreet Bhatia who's got it right. The broadcasters or any other thing, we are waiting for that because Dhawan said one Harpreet is not playing.
See, well, one good thing with CSK is their 11 seems pretty sorted.
Yeah.
Take note, KKR.
Yep.
Sorted 11s.
But yes, batting at the right position.
Too late now, Shane, isn't it, to make this play?
No, I've been making the play since last year. So at this point, I'm just crying myself hoarse.
Yeah, you played, I think KKR played 9 games if I'm not mistaken, right? I think they played a total of 9. And they, I think, won only 3 or they won 4.
You basically have to win your next 5 games, which is not happening. No.
16 is
You're cut off.
yeah, but looking at how this table is at this point in time, Punjab win today. Oh boy, then I think even 16 is not enough then. I think
16 will be enough if you to finish third, fourth.
yeah, third, fourth.
That is the cutoff, generally speaking.
Because teams will be eyeing a top 2 spot. Because remember, if you finish in the top 2, you get 2 chances.
Right.
And qualifier 1, the team that wins goes directly into the final. Qualifier, if the loser of the qualifier then plays the second time. So that is why they'll want to finish in the top 2. And today there is lot of nostalgia because it's the 1000th game of the IPL that will be played after this.
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians versus Rajasthan Royals, and if you have to look at just
This is the 999th game that we're talking about.
Yes, oh man, and if you look at it, it was Dhoni. If I have to look at a Dhoni centric stat, his first 50 came against the same opponents 15 years ago, and he's had some very memorable moments against them.
Irfan Pathan getting count.
2 sixes, both 100 meters, and a rare show of anger by Captain Cool. But yes, he has shown anger in the past. I mean, who can forget 2019? The
Rajasthan?
Yes,
At the
absolutely.
Savai Mansingh
Just
Stadium.
ask Manish Pandey about his anger.
Of course. There was Sudeep Tyagi, one of the CSK guys, and who did play a couple of games for India in 2009-10. Sudeep Tyagi.
2009-10 was a weird time.
It was a very, very weird time indeed. So, Chennai Super Kings, they won 2010 IPL at that period. Dhoni had a great performance.
Let's just look at the Kings 11 lineup and Punjab Kings, I'm sorry.
And one of
Back to 2009.
no, 2 players in that from Vidarbha. We had a separate chunk where Gargi talked about everybody in that.
Fascinating.
Yes. 2 from Punjab Kings and 1 from Lucknow Super Giants.
Yeah.
And incidentally, all 3 are from the same place.
Amravati.
Amravati. They were born in Amravati. They are now staying in Nagpur.
Yeah.
In the same building. Wow. So, please. Atharva Taide had a great game last time. And
I think today also, because the pitch in Nagpur is similar to that of Chipok. So I think because we've obviously they've played so many games over there. They could have a better stay at the crease today.
And out of Jitesh and Atharva, who do you think play spin better?
Out of Jitesh and Atharva, I think Jitesh.
Jitesh
Yeah.
plays spin better. Okay, because see, initially, if you look at Atharva, will have to encounter the likes of Tikshana in the
Yes,
power play.
yes.
Patirana also. So that is why it will be very important for Atharva to ensure that he plays spin well, because as Gargi pointed out, Jitesh plays spin a lot better than Atharva. But again, the same problem which happened in the game. Could you have had a promotion for somebody like, say, one of the big hitters up? Do you think Jitesh deserves a promotion? Say, Sam Curran at 5, Jitesh at 6, Shahrukh at 7. Do you think Jitesh needs to be at 5, Sam at 6 and Shahrukh at 7? What do you think, Gargi?
I'm not sure, because Jitesh is used to coming in. I think he used to come in at 5 in the last IPL, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And he did very, very well at that position. So I think he's been very accustomed to coming in at 5 and getting those enough overs to accelerate the game, judge the situation, judge the conditions and how they're bowling. I think Jitesh Sharma could come in at 5, but also Sam Curran is also a similar kind of batter who could potentially win you matches. But Jitesh Sharma has a record of doing that, so why not
Yep.
get him up the order?
Now, the major problem for Punjab in the previous game was the bowling. Absolutely smashed to all parts in their own home ground, unfortunately. Arshdeep had some kind of redemption towards the end. He nailed those Yorkers. One, unfortunately,
absolutely.
Krunal Pandya got it. Somehow he squeezed it out. But if you look at it, Kagiso Rabada had a very off day. Sam Curran had an off day. Sikandar Raza had a bad day. Rahul Chahar also not having that much of penetration. On the bowling front, is this team, can you look at any other team? Is it right to say that Punjab Kings' bowling lineup is the weakest in IPL, if you look, because if they're not firing?
No, Kolkata is the weakest.
Mumbai?
Yeah, Mumbai is right down there. Unfortunately for Mumbai, their
So rank
batting
them.
is kind of.
We're forgetting Hyderabad.
We're also forgetting Delhi Capitals.
Yeah.
Okay, so rank them if you can. Who's the worst if you look at 1, 2, 3? Just
See, if you're going by on paper, then I'd say MI, KKR, Delhi, and then Sunrisers. Because again, I think with the problem with and see with Punjab also, really, it's not a bad bowling lineup on paper. They've just been I remember this year also I was saying Harpreet Brar obvious suspect when it comes to leaking runs. Last year also he leaked plenty of runs.
Yep.
Otherwise, on paper, Arshdeep, Rabada, Chahar, Curran, that is a formidable bowling lineup. They just haven't fired. That's the problem.
on the basis of 7 or 8 matches, do you think who's the only bowler who has fired in the Punjab Kings?
Arshdeep.
Only Arshdeep.
Only him, because Sam Curran also has blown hot and cold with the ball. Rahul Chahar has not really been up among the wickets, which is what you have a wrist spinner there for.
Yep.
He's been economical on occasion, but not among the wickets, and that has been the problem. I think they've also underutilized Sikandar Raza a little bit. I don't know why Liam Livingston hasn't bowled as much. I think today you're going to see that happen, because it's going to be that kind of a pitch, and they're going to be bowling second? No, first.
They are
They're
bowling
bowling first. So
first.
ideally, you need to be using your spinners. Maybe a few less overs for. I think Rabada, by the way, has been the biggest question mark. You brought him in, but truth be told, he hasn't fired at all.
He hasn't
at
fired.
all.
So, if you look at the impact subs, it's pretty simple. Akash Singh comes in, Ambati Raidu goes out for CSK.
Yeah.
Prabh Simran comes in, and one of the bowlers, either of Rahul Chahar or Arshdeep, they go out. Maybe that is the only impact sub that I'm looking at it at this point in time. So, that is the current situation. And if you look at Chennai versus Punjab, past encounters, it's been one-sided. Chennai have registered some comprehensive wins.
Yeah.
But when you look back at Chepauk, 2010, I remember Chennai versus Punjab, it was a super over. And one particular individual, actually, now he's playing for the US. He troubled us a lot. Juan Rusty Theron.
Oh, one Theron, yeah.
Yes, Juan Theron really bowled brilliantly. He had just come off 3 hours prior to the game. He had just landed in India. Okay, no problem, I'll bowl. And he did it. Bowled a brilliant final over, got them into the super over, and they won us the game. So Punjab defeated Chennai at that time in Chepauk 2010. Jayawardene at that time was the captain, Mahela Jayawardene.
Yeah.
So Yes, it was a weird time indeed, and 1,000 matches that we're going to see in the IPL. Oof, I mean,
Madness.
yes, from April 2008, when McCullum's 158 changed the entire landscape of cricket, till now, April 30th, 2023, 15 years. We have done a lot of games, isn't it? The IPL has been part of every, you may say, people, from the people born in the 90s to 2000, growing up. Oh.
In fact, for me, it was I started off watching it obviously as a fan because it was an age I was in school. And then you enter the industry and it's like, okay, this is going to be like an intense time period throughout. And I have not been disappointed 1 year when it comes to the intensity.
Yep.
Even 2020 when you're like, oh, the world is shut down, but IPL is happening, boss. It's not in India. Buy a bubble.
Yep. What was your first IPL game, Gargi, that you watched?
I do not remember, honestly.
I remember mine.
Yeah.
2008 it started, na IPL. I was 8 years old. You do not remember.
Yes.
My first one was that RCB KKR one.
Of course.
So we all watched that, man. I was still, I think, in 8th standard I was, but I do remember watching that match. I think we all do, because again, there was so much happening in Indian cricket then, just the previous year, the World Cup debacle had happened, then
The World Cup triumph.
Then the World Cup triumph had happened,
Yes.
then you were suddenly looking at this new tournament that everyone was talking about.
Well, you two have stolen the march on it because I didn't watch the IPL in 2008. Because I was in England at that time and we were not getting the IPL at that point in time. Because I think they had not yet licensed or something. I think Channel 4 didn't get the rights or something to telecast the IPL. We were just watching it on streaming.
At 2008 streaming, I can imagine how great it would have been.
It was a pretty big challenge, but my first game that I saw that I can remember in the IPL was Deccan Chargers versus Delhi Daredevils. Unfortunately, the semi-final. That was the first game I ever watched in the IPL, and I saw Gilchrist. I thought, okay, the clock has turned back. Gilchrist smashing bowlers, and Delhi Daredevils lost that. And then the next game I saw, I was wondering, what is this thing about RCB, CSK? What is this entire thing all about? What is the hype? Then I looked back at matches, and then I started because I had to cover matches regularly from 2010 onwards. Then I realized, okay, so this is the thing, this is the rivalry, this is why it's called the Southern Derby, why it was given all this and all that. It's not my
Back
own.
then it wasn't called the El Clasico, thank God.
No, El Clasico anyway is CSK MI.
MI.
No, they would have coined names by then also.
No.
Much later.
Back then, social media wasn't as predominant as it is now. 2010, so it was still kind of in its infancy.
2013 onwards, these kind of terms came to be associated, like Mumbai CSK, because at that time the rivalry was also established. Now, CSK had won 2, then it was MI and KKR. So that's why, unfortunately, why there is no name given to CSK KKR, because that itself was a very
El Clasico
good
happened actually
rivalry.
later, because 13 was when Mumbai got there first. So yes, and it's taken them quite some time to get those numbers as compared to Chennai. So yeah, probably just 5 years since El Clasico came into
With CSK
parlance.
KKR, why it's not that much of a rivalry also is because it's one-sided when you're looking at group games. But in major matches, it's one each. So you actually need a rematch of sorts.
Yes,
Not happening this year
you
though.
you do. But apart from that 1000 games in the IPL, today it's a very special birthday. Happy birthday, Hitman Rohit Sharma. Yes.
Ooh.
He turns 36. You don't forget certain dates. You don't forget November 5. You don't forget July 7. You never forget April 24. You never forget April 30th, because it's Rohit Sharma's birthday. Another Nagpur guy. Yeah, born in Nagpur but then settled in Mumbai. So
See how many cricketers Nagpur is churning out.
yeah, I mean, Nagpur is churned out a lot of cricketers, but unfortunately, 3 of them have gotten their due now. They couldn't get their due, as I had mentioned that day, when the golden generation of Vidarbha cricketers had
of
done
course.
the double. They never got their due. So
None of them.
Yep. So that is why happy birthday, Rohit Sharma, and you're going to lead your team on the 10th anniversary even of your Mumbai captaincy.
Correct.
This, on his birthday, he got his Mumbai captaincy in 2013, and absolutely, That's the way. And Miraj Rules is saying, my first IPL memory is to wait for Sachin Tendulkar to start his first game with MI.
Yes, because the first year Sachin didn't actually start games initially for MI because he had some injury, some minor injury it was. And I remember, I think they had to wait 5 or 6 games for him to come into the side. And obviously, Mumbai franchise, Sachin, you're wanting that hype. So yeah, they had to wait a little while. I remember that now. Thanks for refreshing my memory.
Yep. So out of, I know it's a very tough question. I'll ask all of you. Whenever you started watching, what remains your favorite IPL memory in all these 15 years? Your most favorite? I know it is a tough one, but you can either one or two. Shane.
15 and a half seasons to look back at.
I mean, whatever stands out in your mind even today when you think about the IPL.
I already have.
Yeah.
One was AB's fastest century.
Against Mumbai.
Yes.
Ah.
That one, and I think highest scores. I don't know why, but these are the two memories that stand out for me.
263.
The 175 that Gale hit.
No. Yes, that game.
Yeah, so 263 game. Na?
The 263 game. So that is your favorite memory
Yes.
till now.
Yeah.
10 years later. Harshad, what about you?
I, as a Delhi fan, haven't had much to cheer.
Look at it from a neutral perspective.
Neutral.
No, that way is I'm very this thing. Like I told you the other day, for good 5 years, I was least interested in the IPL. 2013
Same.
to 18, you can tell me, well, like, of course, the 263 happened in that period as well. So I would know these one of things because I was so disassociated with the IPL and I really had lost interest. So I really don't have, and I would hate to pick a, moment for some other franchise because of 15 years, I have been, let's say, in my personal capacity, I've been with the Delhi.
2020 wasn't memorable for you? Delhi reached the
making
final.
the final again, not good enough. And I knew, again, since we were talking about Delhi mentality, I knew before that final, we knew we were losing.
Yikes.
So yeah.
See, two favorite. Obviously, it's very easy for me to pick between 12 and 14, and both are special for different reasons. Why 12? Because you stopped CSK winning a third straight title.
Yes.
That was massive, and not just that, you beat Chennai in their own home ground.
Yep.
Final happened at the Chepauk. For KKR to go there, win that match, you were the underdogs.
Yep.
Even with a Sunil Narayan, with a Gautam Gambhir, with Yusuf Pathan, with Jacques Kallis, you were underdogs. And who wins you that match? Manvinder Bisla.
Wow. I mean,
Talk about like unexpected heroes. 2014 more special because I remember it wasn't a good start to the season.
Yeah.
I think KKR had lost 3 of their first 4 or 5 games, which happened in it was the UAE leg. That elections had happened. Early times.
2009.
14.
9 also.
But 9 the
was in
entirety
South
it was
Africa.
held in South Africa.
Yeah.
2014, half of it was held because of the elections in the UAE. After that, they came back to India.
Yeah, so I remember that year, bad start here, thinking, okay, great, this is not going to be a good season. They turned things around nicely and also had the wood over the team that were actually favourites to win that year, ironically, Kings 11 Punjab.
Yes.
KKR had the absolute wood on them because you had 4 matches you played against them, 2 groups, round robin because you had 8, and the qualifier one and the final. KKR won all the matches.
Yep.
Like, you talk about a pasting, that was a pasting.
Yes. Miraj, I'll come to mine later. Miraj was saying my heart was broken and MI lost to CSK in 2010 season. Oh yes, why Pollard batted so low down.
Yeah, that was a mystery.
But it took a brilliant piece of captaincy to ensure that Pollard was dismissed. Unconventional mid-off that Dhoni had set. Sai Dattu was like saying, am I winning in 14 over chase? Oh boy, yes. Rahul Dravid.
Rahul Dravid, yeah.
Flinging the cap down in anger. Ehsan Habib, Virat Kohli batting of 2016.
Of
Of course. I'm surprised you didn't mention that, Rubiter.
Praveen's. Yeah, I mean, he redefined batting. If he thought it was Bradman.
From that season, yes, I can recall something, and some, let's say, vivid memory would be.
Yep.
You don't
Punjab.
forget that.
That game when
Against
he had,
Punjab.
Yes, it was
Against
against
Punjab,
Punjab only.
8 stitches.
9 stitches.
he had cut his webbing and then
Yeah.
the way he batted, oh my god.
Yeah.
Aditya Mohanty MSD sixes in Dharamshala. Yes. Yusuf Pathan 72 of 22.
That was something because KKR at that point they were in contention for a playoff spot. But you're like, okay, they'll get third, fourth. But if they had to win that game to a certain amount of overs, then they would have been in the top 2. And that's what I think that year, 2014, was the year where people realized, oh, NRR is really important because you had that
Mumbai
MIR.
and you had this KKR SRH game where Yusuf Pathan, I think that was his best knock for KKR, bar none.
Bard,
Because he was
yes.
pretty useless for the most part. Like, I'm sorry, I love the guy to death, but for KKR, he wasn't at his prime. Prime
Yeah.
Yusuf was the Rajasthan Royals one, where he hit 136 balls.
100 or 37 balls, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, you know, that year, that was that one knock where you're like, this is Yusuf Pathan. Absolutely leathered the SRH bowlers. Very fun to watch.
Rohit Sharma hat-trick, yes.
For Deccan Chargers.
Deccan Chargers.
Yuvraj Singh has got 2 hat-tricks, by the way, in the IPL.
One of them who came in a losing cause.
Yes, yes. My favorite moment, if I have to look at it,
18?
no, 16, the...
Not 18 or 21
18,
maybe.
see, it was a comeback. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a
a
comeback for
special
CSK.
comeback.
Yeah, Dad's army is all fine. But then, if you have to look at what cemented a particular legacy, I'll say 2016, Dhoni doing the double Javed Miandad of Akshar Patel in the final over. 23 were needed of the last over. That was calculating and brilliant MS Dhoni at that point in time. 16 needed of 3, hit a 4, okay. Next 2 balls I need a 6, I'll hit a 6.
Yeah.
He hit a 6. At that time we felt, what can Dhoni not do? And he did it. So that further raised the mythical figure that MS Dhoni is. Finisher par excellence. That is why that is one of the best moments which showed me through the IPL that Dhoni was immortal at that point in time.
Still is.
Still is as a captain.
Acha, we'll not touch upon that.
No.
As a captain, he is still one of the best. I think there'll be no match to MS Dhoni, the white ball captain ever. He is the greatest white ball captain for India ever.
Miraj
Maybe
says Gambhir versus Virat. Sorry to cut you short.
yeah, but that wasn't a memorable moment. It
well,
was
for a fan,
negative
why not?
reason. Yeah.
Yeah, it's memorable. So that matter, even Pollard stuck when they were kind of squared up.
Yep.
There was bad-
Like Miraj rules mentions.
But
that
for
as
me, it was through the Paul Valtati 100. Yes.
well. Manish Pandey 100 one could say.
Yeah,
Valtati.
the first
Yes.
Indian to hit 100 in the IPL,
Manish
Manish
Pandey,
Pandey.
2009.
Yep. But for me, the game changer, I mean, through the IPL, you saw a change of rule and it impacted world cricket in a big way. Ashwin Mankading. Ashwin run out, if I may say. Because that forced people to look at it that it was a very archaic rule. What is the big deal? Why should the batsman have an advantage?
Yeah.
Right.
The non-striker shouldn't get an advantage. So that's why through the IPL, the Punjab Kings versus Rajasthan Royals match, cricket actually changed
Yeah.
after that. You can talk about the titles, but for me, the best title, if you have to look at it, has to be Rajasthan Royals of 2008.
Wani.
The late, great Shane Warne. That team of not so talented but talented.
Effective players, yeah.
Somehow, some way, through sheer, the greatest captain Australia did not have. Kamran Khan's super over.
Also RR.
RR
Also RR.
against KKR.
Yes.
Yep, I remember Ajanta Mendes got
Mendes, yeah.
pumped by Yusuf Pathan. Yep, I remember that. So, Rajshekhar Balraj.
I like Praveen's one, Lynn Narayan opening versus RCB. That was the peak of Sunil Narayan, the opener. Poor guy absolutely murdered Samuel Badri's career after that.
Yes. Yep.
Anyhow,
If you have to look at it last, if I may say, if I have to hurt Shane again, Dwayne Bravo 6 against Rajat Bhatia at Eden.
That. I thought you'd say 21.
21, yeah, that was expected.
No, it wasn't.
Of course.
Rahul Tripathi.
Yeah, of course. Because that hurt even more. 5 needed of 1. Rajat Bhatia on the most difficult of wickets. He's anyway a difficult customer to get away.
And he bowls a
He was no, not a half, it was full toss.
Full toss.
Bravo, just knocks it and gets a 6.
MI actually have had that because I remember one year even Ambati Raidu did that to us when he was still playing for MI.
Yes.
Oh, which season it was?
It was 2012, I guess. 12 or 13.
12, yeah.
Yep.
anyhow, guys.
Prediction
Yes, prediction time. I know we got carried away with
Oh.
nostalgia.
Double super over MI PBKS.
2020.
Yeah, double super over. Not RCB, Praveen. MI PBKS. You want to take that? Ashutosh Joshi's comment.
No.
Ashutosh Joshi. Joshi saying RCB 49 all out.
Prediction time.
See, for me, you are asking the wrong person for prediction.
Hello, we'll have Sidvi.
100 and I will just say it and you say 160 CSK winning.
160 CSK. Shane?
168, and I do think CSK will win.
How about you, Gargi?
172 CSK win.
You?
I'll go with the CSK win as well. I will go with a 157.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. And Tarupa Kaushika, no, I am not taking that. 2019 last ball from Malinga, yes. And a current KKR guy only lost
Yes.
this. Shardul Thakur.
Mr. Thakur.
Oh, yes.
Anyhow, lots to talk about.
Lots to
and
talk
we
about,
will
yep.
be looking back at your personal favorite and fond memories as well of the IPL, a tournament which has entertained us
For 15
for
years.
15 long years. A couple of us were kids back then. We're all grown adults now, or so we'd like to believe we're adults. But anyhow, we will see you guys at the halfway stage of this match.
Yep.
And thank you so much. We'll see you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye-bye from all of us.